Could you imagine just living there?
We're
going
there.
I did not realize you guys had mountains there.
Huh. You are advised to go beyond this point?
Interesting.
That's an interesting sign. Welcome back, lads and lassies, to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look into the top 10 places to visit in one of probably the most beautiful places on Earth.
Oh, you think?
I think so, yeah. I've heard just so many good things about this place.
And that would be?
It's Scotland.
That was like a long intro for that. But yeah, Scotland. Top 10 places to visit in Scotland by our boy, Ryan Shirley, because he's been there.
He does amazing cinematography.
He does.
Beautiful cinematography. His channel, I'm surprised, is not way bigger than it is.
It should be. Shout out.
Because he has, well, we're giving him, he's like 10 times, 12 times bigger than us, but.
Okay, so cinematography enthusiasts like myself, shout out to all you others that are like that, because he has some great footage, and we're about to see some new ones here.
Yep. So anyway, as many of you guys know, and we just keep saying, we're going to be coming to the UK finally in a couple months.
Yeah.
I will say one of the first of the American Reacts. We're actually doing it. Just saying. Instead of, talking about it and just always looking at it on a video, we're actually going to be
We've got our tickets. We've got places booked. We are coming as long as things stay okay.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, that's why we're better than some of the other American Reacts.
Oh.
Just saying, just throwing that out there. Anyway, guys, we're planning on spending 3 days in Scotland right now.
More like 4, actually.
4 days, so at the moment we're still open to a lot. So hopefully this video might help us
make some decisions.
Well, this video might be like, oh, I had never heard about that.
Exactly.
We gotta check that out.
For sure.
Obviously we have to do this before our trip. Comment down below if you're from Scotland or been to Scotland and either you agree with these top 10 or if you're like, no, there's this hidden jewel.
Yes, we need some tips for sure.
Anyway, guys, before we get into the video, as always, like, share, subscribe, turn the notification bell on. Please subscribe if you want to, and if you haven't, it really does help out with the channel. And anyway, guys, let's get right in this video and check out the top 10 places in Scotland.
What's up, guys? My name is Ryan, and last summer I did a road trip around Scotland, and I want to show you my favorite places.
How do you get there?
Okay, he obviously climbed up.
Last summer I did a road trip around Scotland, and I want to show you my favorite places. So here's my Scotland top 10.
Wow.
If you want to go back in time and feel like you're in a fairy tale, Scotland is the place for you. It's easy to see why so many legends and popular books such as Harry Potter have been born here. It's truly one of the world's most enchanted places. So for our first location, we're going to visit the Old Man of Storr. Now the Old Man of Storr is located on the Isle of Skye, which is about a 5-hour drive from Edinburgh. It's one of my all-time favorite rock formations. I felt like I was on the set of Game of Thrones. When you drive to the store, you can see it in the distance and it gets you like so pumped. It's just such a cool rock formation. Now, to hike to the Old Man of Storr, it's about a 4-kilometer walk. You'll go through some conservation gates and you'll reach the infamous rock pinnacles. I went there for sunrise and sunset, and both occasions were absolutely breathtaking. When I was there, crows were flying around the rocks and there was just some sheep running around. I mean, it was so magical. The legend of the Old Man of Storr is supposedly a giant lived there a long time ago, and when he was buried, his thumb was left sticking out of the ground, creating the mystical rock formations. When you go there, it's easy to see why it's one of the world's most iconic rock formations. I have to say this is one of my all-time favorite places, and I recommend everyone to see it at least once in their life.
You are advised to go beyond this point? That's an interesting sign. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it out there. So honestly, people have suggested that we come back and spend the whole trip just in Scotland.
I would say so.
Same thing with Wales, which I know I probably said that wrong. To me, okay, one is it realistic? Like there's no one around, or did he? That
is the thing I was gonna say. There's no houses. You don't even see the road.
Well, no, I know that's probably accurate.
It looks very old,
I'm talking about there's no one else, that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
He didn't show
other tourists?
There's no other tourists he showed.
Oh,
I feel like this would be a really touristy spot, so I'm wondering if he went on an off season. Is there an on and off season? Is it realistic, if we show up in June, is there going to be 1,000 people there?
Interesting. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's fine. It wouldn't take away from the scenery. I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
Because having
being able to get these kind of shots with no one else around makes it just seem so surreal.
One thing after looking at a map, on Google Maps of the UK, I have a huge respect of how much national parks they have. Mm-hmm. Because the US has massive, massive national parks.
Yeah.
But we're a massive nation.
Yeah.
So it's not as impressive.
Yeah.
But having so much of your land still protected and preserved like this.
And still have so much of a population.
Is amazing.
Yeah. This
Just
is really
a few
cool.
minutes away from the Old Mana store,
wow.
there's a breathtaking waterfall called the Meout Falls that cascades down into the
How do
ocean.
you pronounce
There's
that?
also a nice viewpoint where you
Meout.
can get a great view of
Okay.
the waterfall.
More
There's
people.
also just
Yeah.
beautiful sea cliffs in the area. One of the most famous is Kilt Rock, which looks like a kilt that descends down to the ocean. All the east side of the Isle of Skye.
Clever.
There's just such beautiful coastline there. So after, we're going to head over to another one of Scotland's most iconic locations, to the Glenfinnan Viaduct. So it's
Whoa.
located at the top of Loch Shiel in the West Highlands of Scotland. It was completed around
I don't know where that is.
1898. So it may look familiar
That's
because
old.
it was featured in Harry Potter. You'll see the train going there when it's heading to Hogwarts. So when I was there, I wanted to get a close up to the bridge,
Wow, it
so
is
I
big.
walked underneath it, and I was just shook by how big it really was. I mean, those arches are just massive. So after
That's
I
coming
hiked to
something
a
from
good
American.
vantage point where I could see the famous train go across the viaduct. I mean, it is just such a magical place. The backdrop of Loch Shiel
Wow.
is absolutely stunning, and definitely recommend visiting there. All right.
Wow.
I thought that was the one from Harry Potter. I couldn't tell for
It
sure.
looked very familiar.
For some reason, I thought it was a Harry Potter. So they filmed all over the UK for Harry Potter. Then.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so after Glenfinnan, we're gonna
Wow, look at that. The mountain on the side right there, the left.
Yeah, but even
That's
here, like, you
awesome.
don't see hardly any villages. I can see one, maybe two roads. It's just not, the human imprint is not heavy there. And I love that. I love being able to see places like that.
But I think Sweden and Norway, if I remember, like have huge tracks on it, like that.
Huge tracts of land.
I'm just saying, I think they're very similar.
Oh, okay.
head over to Edinburgh.
New Zealand,
now, if
too.
you want to
Oh,
go back
Edinburgh!
in time,
We're going there.
Edinburgh is a must. Edinburgh is the place where J.K. Rowling was when she wrote Harry Potter. So
Mm-hmm.
when you're going to go there, you're going to get all sorts of magic.
What?
Wow.
That is awesome.
Okay,
I love
so
street
there-
performers.
There's going to be a lot of Harry Potter references, I think is
Oh,
what
I'm
he's
sure.
saying. References? Stuff
When
around.
she wrote Harry Potter. So when you're going to go there, you're going to get all sorts of magic.
Was that Little Ben?
A little bit, no.
Inspiration. When I first started solo traveling, Edinburgh was one of the first places I've ever went to. It's this medieval old town with intricate neoclassical buildings, cobblestone streets,
Of course.
and beautiful gardens. The iconic Edinburgh Castle overlooks the city and is home to Scotland's crown jewels. When I was there,
Okay, so real fast, I did hear someone recommend not to go to this castle because apparently you can only go in a very little bit.
Oh, really?
Like you don't get to see the whole castle, as well as something about the crown jewels there are really not that impressive. Like the ones in Buckingham Palace are way better.
I don't know if the crown jewels are in Buckingham Palace. I think they're in
Windsor,
something else.
they're down.
They're somewhere in
I think
London.
they have 2 sets.
Maybe.
But, so anyway, guys, if you have been there, comment down below. If obviously this is one of his top 10s, but people that live there have told me not to do it. And that there's another castle. I forget which one.
Yeah, let us know which castles we should see, especially which ones are free. I'd love to know that.
castle overlooks the city and is home to Scotland's crown jewels. When I was there, I didn't go in the castle because it was so crowded and I didn't really feel like spending money. Kind of regret it,
Yeah.
but definitely recommend go checking that out. One of my favorite places in Edinburgh is Calton Hill. It's just a short walk from the castle and it offers a beautiful view of the city. They have this really cool
Wow.
national monument there, these really cool pillars. All right,
Oh,
so
wow, that's
while we're still in
huge.
Edinburgh, we're
Really?
head
It was like 30, 40 foot tall.
Yeah, that looks like a Roman ruin or something like that.
over to
I mean, honestly, could be.
Yeah.
national monument there, these really cool pillars. All right, so while we're still in Edinburgh, we're gonna head over to Arthur's Seat. Now, Arthur's Seat is located in Holyrood Park and is just a short walk from Edinburgh Center. Now, Arthur's Seat is an
Okay.
extinct volcano that has an elevation
What?
of 823 feet. When I was there, I just saw Arthur's Seat from the distance and I was like, okay, I want to hike it because I wanted to get a view of all of Edinburgh. So anyways, I
That's
made the
cool.
hike up. You'll walk around Holyrood Park, take the short little hike up there. When I was there, it was so windy. I couldn't believe how windy it was. It nearly
Wow.
blew me over. After I hiked to the top, I went down and walked around Holyrood Park and just enjoyed the views of Edinburgh. Just such a beautiful city. So after
Wow.
Edinburgh, we're gonna head back over to the west side of Scotland to visit the island.
I've seen this castle in movies.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure this is the castle they used in Maid of Honor.
I don't know.
I remember there was something like
Hope I
that.
said that right. If you're driving to the Isle of Skye, you're gonna drive right by it. It's situated on a small tidal island at a point where 3 great sea locks meet. So the castle was built in the 13th century. I'm really mad at myself because I didn't stop here. When I first drove by it, it was good weather. I just didn't even know it existed. And then the second time I drove by it was just pouring rain. So I just couldn't even go to the...
I love it. I just love the country. It's like mountain, beautiful. And then you don't even see anything. It's just foggy and hate.
It's just the other side of the castle.
It's definitely one of the biggest regrets I have of visiting Scotland. So definitely don't make my mistake and make sure you make a pit stop at one of Scotland's most famous castles. Alright, so after the castle, we're going to make the short drive over to the nearby Cullen Mountains. Now, the Cullen Mountains are this very unique mountain range located on the Isle of Skye. When I was there, I went to the Slickishan Bridge, which is at the base of the Cullen Mountains. The Slickishan Bridge is just super famous and scenic. When I was there, I didn't get many shots of the bridge because there was a lot of people on them. But I did get some beautiful shots of the mountains. They had such a unique shape. I love the contrast of the green peaks against the blue sky backdrop. I mean, it was just...
And it's just crazy how flat it is.
Flat
in the valley, and then they just shoot straight up. That's really cool.
Such a stunning location. Another enchanting location in the Cullen Mountains is the Fairy Pools. Now, the Fairy Pools is just a short 30-minute drive from the Slickishan. The fairy tales, they're just...
I don't think okay, now
I think this is north, quite a bit further north than we're planning on visiting.
Located at the base of a dramatic black Cullen Mountains.
Which sucks.
I was just blown away by the vibrant green slopes and the dark mountain in the background. It was just pitch black. I felt like Gandalf was going to run down with a massive horse army, like in the Two Towers Lord of the Rings movie. I was just so epic when I was there.
Oh wow! Just all that, like nothing.
Jeez.
Just natural.
I know, that's why it's just like the carbon footprint. It's just not touched.
There were so many midges, which are like these annoying gnat-like bugs that bite. I mean, they're just horrible. I didn't have any bug spray, so I didn't dare walk down to the pools. I mean, I wish I would have gone. I mean, those pools are just such an iconic sight. The water's so magical and so clear, so that's another one of my regrets when I went to Scotland. So make sure you either bring bug spray or go in a different time than August. That's when I was there. So after the fairy pools, we're going to head over to another mythical location, to the Fairy Glen. Now, the Fairy Glen is a very popular destination.
Oh gosh, everything looks like north. Everything looks like it's not. This just makes me like want to just have to go back and visit Scotland later.
In the Isle of Skye. To get there, you're going to drive on this really small, sketchy road to get there. Find a little parking spot, and then you just make like the short 5-minute hike to the Fairy Glen. Now, what it's famous for is it has these rings of rocks. And people often put some money in the center as an offering to the fairies. When I was there, I found this really cool rock formation that I hiked to so I could get a better view of those rings. And I also got some really cool views of the area. I mean, the grass is just so green there.
Interesting.
I mean, it was such a cool place. I felt like a kid walking around those green hills, keeping my eyes open to see if I could see any mythical creatures or any fairies. It'll put you in a magical mindset. Alright, so after the Fairy Glen, we're going to head over to the Duncansby Stacks. Hope I said that right. Anyways, it's located in the most northern eastern part of the British.
Oh yeah, definitely not going there this time.
Yeah, it's almost 7 hours from Edinburgh.
It's so...
It's like on the tip.
Yeah, it's like almost like not in Scotland. I mean, I'm assuming this island way up here
is part of Scotland.
It's part of Scotland.
It's quite the drive from Edinburgh, so it's quite the road trip. It's home to some of the world's most beautiful ski stacks. Unfortunately, when I was in Scotland, I didn't have enough time to drive up there, but when I'm back, I'm going to make sure I visit the dramatic landscape. I just can't get over how epic the sea pinnacles are. Just such an insane location. Alright, so after the sea stacks, we're going to head over to the Bedian Nam Bian mountain. Probably said that wrong, but anyways, I found this place by accident.
Is there a waterfall?
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I was driving from the Isle of Skye down to Glasgow, and I stumbled upon this magic location. I mean, I couldn't believe how huge these mountains were. I felt like I was in Switzerland or Norway. I mean, I didn't even know Scotland had just big mountains. I thought it was pretty flat. The Bedian Nam Bian.
This is actually something I thought too. I thought the Scotland's mountains were relatively small.
Shorter.
I thought all of the UK's were like relatively like 4,000, 5,000, which is, it's still a mountain, but it's nothing like, like the Alps or the Rockies or the Apple,
Right. I didn't realize you guys had like mountain terrain like this. I knew you had like the cliffs, but then it was just like flat, and I don't really consider those mountains.
Well, no, I mean, I knew they had some. I thought they were like kind of just like more big rolling hills, not like the massive.
This is mountains. I mean, look how tiny that road is. Of course, all your roads seem tiny.
These mountains were.
Okay, wait. There is actually like a house or something.
Oh,
right there.
A little farm in the
Could you
valley.
imagine just living there?
Oh, I would die happy and live happy.
I felt like I was in Switzerland or Norway. I mean, I didn't even know Scotland had just big mountains. I thought it was pretty flat. The Bedain na Bian is 3,770 feet high, so it's just huge. I mean, there's a scenic walk.
That's technically not that tall in the scheme of a mountain height, but to go from like a very shallow valley straight up that high, that's a big difference. That's a big height.
Waterfall, and the valley was just beautiful. There was some sheep grazing.
Sheep.
If you keep driving towards Glasgow, you'll pass some more massive mountains such as this one, and then if you keep going, you will drive by Loch Lomond, which is just another massive.
Now this is one place we were talking about going, Loch Lomond, because
really?
it's near like Loch Ness and that national park, because we want to see the Loch Ness monster.
Well,
Is
check
this
it out.
one.
Yeah.
And then if you keep going, you will drive by Loch Lomond, which is just another massive lake. This is why I love driving in Scotland. There's just so many beautiful occasions that you just stumble upon accidentally. All right, so for our final location, we're gonna head back over to the Isle of Skye to the Quiraing Mountains. Now, aside from the Old Manor Store, I'd have to say the Quiraing is one of my favorite places and landscapes in Scotland. It's a set of dramatic rock formations located on the side of a mountain. Quiraing was formed by a landslide a long time ago.
I was gonna
The
say.
grass is so green there, I felt like I'm like on a giant golf course. Anyways, to get there, I drove up this windy road. Be careful because I popped my tire because the road is super bumpy. Anyways, I got to the parking lot and I started the trek to the Quiraing. Now, it was a super easy hike. It only took me like 30 minutes. There's no elevation gain. On the hike, I came across some sheep that were just vibing. I also saw some really cool rock fields, and then I was just surrounded by just these magical mountains. They just have
Wow.
this really unique shape that I've never seen before. There's little lakes.
Kind
Looks
of
like it's made to like,
cattywampus.
drive something. Like a ramp.
Like a ramp.
Yep.
Then the little lakes in between. That's cool.
Magical mountains. They just have this really unique shape that I've never seen before. There's little lakes, and then you have the view of the ocean. It's
Oh,
just
there you
such a
Wow.
unique place. When I was
How
there, I
blue
was
that
lucky
ocean
enough
is.
to have sunny weather. A lot of people I've talked to said when they've gone, it's just been so cloudy they couldn't even see anything. So I feel pretty fortunate about that. The Quiraing is just such a beautiful area that offers great hiking trails and just some of the world's most outstanding views. Alright, so that is it for my Scotland video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Scotland is just one of the world's most
That
magical and beautiful places. There's a lot of locations that I left out, so much more to explore than just my video, but I hope this helps and hope it inspires you to visit somewhere new this year.
So it seems like a lot of those top places were in the Isle of Skye.
Yeah, and I don't know if we're going over there.
No, but I feel like we're gonna have to plan another trip sometime
Just
and
for
explore
Scotland.
Scotland, because those mountain ranges are very different from Colorado and the Rockies.
Yeah, I'm not for sure like what California is. I think California has some pretty awesome like.
Maybe, but I don't think they're quite as like rocky.
Well, what's different is from pictures I've seen and stuff, it's like more deserty.
In
So all around
California?
no, just around like the mountains. It's like, the rocks. They're not like black or whatever. Like they're more like the orange, tan.
Oh, like the clay colors.
Yeah, the
stuff
clay
like that.
colors. So
Yeah.
it's just not the same.
Well, I've only been to California once, and it was very interesting, the terrain, how it changes so dramatically from kind of in the mountains to down at ocean level and very flat.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard California is like one of the prettiest places in the U.S. because
Most diverse states.
well,
probably.
you have like mountains an hour away. You have the ocean an hour away. You
The
have like,
desert.
the desert an hour away.
Yeah.
You have I think woods.
You have the-
woods an hour away.
Yeah, not just woods, the red forest.
The sequoia trees, which are
Yes.
the biggest I think in the world.
Some of them, yeah. And, well, those are a little bit more than an hour away. Depends on where you go in California.
I mean,
It's
depends where
huge.
you live. I've heard. I think L.A. is like you're next to the ocean, the mountains, and what was the third?
Desert.
Desert, I think, as well as being in a huge city.
Yeah,
So-
massive city.
Anyway, yeah, that is.
Awesome. I did not realize you guys had mountains there. I am so sorry.
Okay, I knew they had mountains. I just didn't know.
Not that kind of mountains.
One thing I really want to see, and I think I'm gonna be really bummed for not seeing. I want to see the Northern Lights, and I think everyone's saying that in June you're just not gonna really see them, or you have to go. You have to go like all the way up north,
And even then,
and it's gonna suck. So.
we'll see it someday.
Hopefully. Anyway, guys, that was a video. Absolutely, Scotland is
Amazing.
breathtaking. Just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Anyway, guys, we are looking forward to coming to Scotland, though. Regardless if we see the amazing scenery, we're definitely going to still be seeing some of Scotland. And so we are excited about that.
Yes, please share your comments, places to go, things to do, cheap things that'll we can save some money on that are worth seeing. So we appreciate all your feedback, especially here in Scotland, because we're a little bit new to this country. So we want to be well prepared.
Thank you guys for watching. Let us know what you thought of the video, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. And as always, cheers.